Guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is our fifth podcast. We didn't do podcasts for a while now, but yeah, we wanted to do this because this is a very popular topic going on right now, and pretty much everyone who's coming to Canada has this question. I wanted to clear that up with Manish here because she actually went through that whole process right now. I think she will have better things to say than me, so that's why I wanted to do this together. So yeah, the question is basically how to get a job in Canada. So before that, please do like and subscribe to the channel, and also please do turn on the notifications, and please do like and comment on the video so that I get more subscribers and reaches more people. What do you do? Like, what is your work?
Okay, I am actually a UX designer, so you can call it UX, UI, or you can also call it like product design. So it's somewhat to do with everything. So some people call it UX, some people call it like product design. It's almost all connected together. So basically, product design is where we design experience for people. So for example, in better words to say it, suppose you take an application, design the whole experience of it. We do a lot of interviews, and according to the project needs, we kind of do the wireframes, and then we do like the visual design and interaction design and everything, and then we give it as a final project. So for example, if you see like a Instagram application, then the whole of the application is developed by one person, but before development, it is designed by a particular person. So basically, that'll be like me.
So on that field, like when you started applying, so when you got a work permit, so the first time, like initially, once you know, like you can apply now. When it came to that point, like from that point, from the time like the first day you started applying to the point where you actually like got a job, was there like any change in like the way you applied or the way you applied for like each job? Like, were you like doing it differently in the beginning, and then like did you change something?
Yeah, so one thing is, before I answer this, so basically I have been doing like a UX design back in India. So I do have like international wise, I do have like experience. I worked for different products, which is not only been there in India, but other than that, I don't have like hands-on like Canadian experience, so I don't know how the whole market works here and everything. So it was like pretty new for me.
Was
like
there,
India,
like, change
are you
or,
asking me to
yeah,
compare
like,
with India or?
Yeah, obviously, like compared to like wherever you worked before, right? Like so, that whole process, and obviously you would have done it in the same way, beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking, like from that point, did you have any need to like change the way you do the whole application for like jobs?
I think so when it comes to mainly India, right, we don't need a lot of reference or anything, okay, sort of such. So we always like just apply, and if you are a person with skills, then you actually land in a job. That's how in India it works, at least for me, that's how it has worked for me. But when it comes to here, I feel more than that, there's like before process. I don't know if right now even in Chennai there's a lot of companies who use ATS, but here once I started applying, like when I was like going through YouTube and learning and so much, the one common word that I heard was ATS. So ATS none of it.
What is ATS?
ATS is basically this the
AI thing.
Before an actual human being goes through your application, before that there's basically an AI machine which kind of like looks at the keywords and everything, analyze it, and then only it goes to actual person. So this is something that I came across. So I won't say I did it for all the application, but generally I did put in a lot of keywords and everything in my application. I did do that. So that was something I approached differently. So I had to like put in all the keywords and accordingly to understand the other. So basically it kind of evolves also the whole industry. So try to put in all the keywords and everything like in place. So that is something that I did.
So there was like lots of change. Like
there's a lot of change. When it comes to resume wise itself, for me, the resume was way different back in India. I think there was like too much of information, everything in detail, because that's how basically back then when I was there, at least that's how they were viewing. But here I had to like make it more crisp, but have like way too information, but in a very, very short way and everything. So the resume itself was for me a process. Like for me, like I think I went like 5 or 6 different resumes, So it was like keep on evolving here and there.
So because like you had so much of change, I'll just come from the beginning. Like when you started applying to jobs, like what was the first change that you had to do, like to like start applying it?
For one thing that I had to do mainly was obviously I had to update my LinkedIn and everything, put all the information, whatever was there. And second thing was to update my resume and make it all like ATS friendly and everything. Third thing was to look at my portfolio and make it like a proper website where it's easier for people to access. So that is one thing that I did. Yeah.
So like what, like, okay, that those things like you did. So when it comes to like applying jobs, like where were the places like where you applied, like
Okay.
whether like websites
You mean like
or,
application through
like
website and everything?
Like where all did you find jobs and
I think actually, see, I did talk to a few people and I didn't like want to know how does it work here, so which is the exact tool they use and everything. But people majorly said use LinkedIn, use Indeed, and I use a lot of company site and I use a lot of Google. So yeah, these were the main platforms. So there's a particular thing that I used to do, okay? So if you want to go inside Indeed and apply, then you go and search for a particular job, right? And same as like if you want to go to LinkedIn and apply, you go inside LinkedIn and you apply. So I know many people are like aware of it. So what you do is you go inside Google and you type whatever the job you're looking out for and whatever region it is. It kind of gives you all the job that is listed in like multiple applications, like Indeed, LinkedIn and everything. So here you can always filter like 2 days back, 3 days back, 1 week back. So this is like a very consolidated view where you can view all the applications together. So that was very, very helpful for me. So and like, one more thing is, if I always saw a job that was open, I would apply through LinkedIn as well. I will also apply through company website.
Eventually, like when you came here, like you know, like eventually you're gonna start working. Okay, wow. So like when you were going through that phase, like you would have heard many things. Like I told you certain things when it comes to like applying jobs, and then like you spoke to like other people and all those things. Like what was like the one common thing which you heard like a lot when it comes to like getting a job here?
It's very, very difficult to get a job here.
Okay.
It's not easy.
That's what you heard.
I think that's what I heard majorly. Like because I had like a couple of friends who had like come back from India here, they try to find a job and it was pretty hard for them. So that is something that I heard like very, very common. It's very, very, because being in England, I followed a lot of designers and everyone, and they were like majority of the people were like always having a tag saying they're open to work. So I knew that the market was very, very bad, and because of all these, what do you want to call, the companies rise and going down and all that something. So the whole economy of the whole companies were very, very bad. So they kind of like sent away a lot of people, so they were not like hiring or anything, or even if you say open position, they don't kind of like get back to you and all that. This is something that commonly I heard from everyone.
What other things did you do, like for this overall getting a job thing, like something else apart from this?
See, one thing, I don't know if everyone would be like interested in doing this, but one thing that I did was, so there's basically ADP, there's like one application where you can like log in and like you can sign up like as a mentor, or you can also like mentor someone, and you can also join as a person who can like talk to people and everything. That is something that I signed up for. So in generally, when it comes to most of the designers, I feel like everyone are like way too friendly, so they're easily approachable. You can really like go and talk to them and all that. So ADP also has like list of other jobs and people like who are there.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah, there are, but something like UX design, I think there's like a one big part of like that community inside the ADP. So I did connect with a lot of people. I did like discuss, I did talk to them. I kind of like understood how the market works here. Also at some point of time, right, irrespective to where you're coming from, at some point of time, if your skill set doesn't match that particular level, then you kind of have to like learn it, or at least do like you don't have to do a course, at least you can do like a YouTube to like understand how does it work and everything. So when I initially came with it, I came with the mindset saying that if there's something that I have to do, then yeah, I'm pretty much in for it. I don't want to be like, I worked for so many years, I don't want to do it now. So I was very open for it. So I did talk with a lot of people, and majority of the skill set what they mentioned was already there with me. So, but one major thing is, when I spoke to all of them, one common thing that everyone who had spoken to mentioned, saying that reference plays a major role in Canada job market. So if you're gonna refer someone like and get a job, then it's like I would say it's a piece of a cake. Again, if you're sending out an application, there's like thousands of people who apply for a job. So your application might not even be viewed. But when someone refers you, you at least have that like kind of a benefit where they view your application. Whether it goes to the next stage or not is again a question mark. But you know that there's a human being who actually views the application. So this is one thing that I commonly heard from all the people. But again, nothing to be this thing of, again, I think even if I as a person, if I was there out there, I wouldn't refer someone who I don't know. So there's not a lot of people who would actually be open to like refer you and all that. So be ready for it. But yeah, so reference is not easy if you're coming from a new place, coming here. Again, even I gave a try to like talk to a lot of people. Probably like thousands of people, like probably like 2 people probably referred me. But
so you did all these things. Like how long was the process for you? Like when did you start and took you to get a job? Like from the day you started applying.
3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks.
It took me 3 to 4 weeks to get a job. But it also took me 3 to 4 weeks to get a call from the person who I applied to. Not being very realistic, that is the truth. 1 week, 2nd week, I think I did get call like around like 2nd week, but majorly the calls were like, they called from Edmonton, they were like, are you willing to relocate? And like I was like, no, I'm not interested to relocate, but if you probably want me to travel like some days, then I'm okay with it. So on a very realistic base, I think it took me 3 weeks to even like get a single call from someone to like talk to me.
You heard all these things like the job market is bad, like it's difficult to get a job and all those things. You heard from different people. Now that like you have gone through this, how do you feel? Like is it actually difficult or is it like is the market bad or like what is your opinion on?
I don't want to put something out there like which is not like really truthful. It's really hard to get a job. Okay, at least I feel back like before so many years, no, because I know a couple of his friends who came here like a couple of years back. I won't say it was a piece of cake. Obviously, it's difficult for them to also get a job, but I feel the market was at least like a little bit smoother. So you kind of apply. There was no lot of people who are like gonna apply for a particular job, but right now it is crazy. So even in LinkedIn, if you're gonna apply for a particular job, there's at least like 600 people who actually apply for the job. I'm not even kidding. If you can just go and see. So it again depends on the field and everything. If you have a particular skill set that people don't have, and if it's very rare, then probably you will get in like a couple of days. Getting a job is very difficult. It'll probably take you like months, but for sure you're gonna land a job. There's something that a person told me, but I think that is very true. See, few people will get a job in like a week or 2, or probably they'll take like 3 months. But at the same time, I think it all depends on timing and everything. But if you're gonna frankly ask me, then I think you are gonna get a job. I won't say it is like the time period is like way too much and there is difficulty, but you will get a job.
So you're saying that no matter who it is, like
I'm not gonna say, again, it depends on the skill set. If someone is really good at what they do, then obviously
So like okay, so you applied to jobs. Like how many jobs did you apply, and how many from those like you got interviews, and how many offers did you get?
Okay, so I applied like for almost I would have applied. I don't even remember the count, but to just give you a vague example, I would have applied for like hundreds and hundreds of jobs. At least like for 200-300 jobs apply பண்ணிருப்பேன். And actually no, not 300, but yeah, around like 200 jobs I think I would have applied. But
in the 3 weeks.
Yeah, in the 3 weeks I would have applied for 200 jobs. But to be very open about it, in the 200 jobs I would have had like 10 to 15 jobs. When I applied itself, I'll be like, you know what, I want this job. I would have applied for certain companies. Actually, frankly speaking, I think whatever companies I applied for, I got a call back from them. They did talk to me. I actually had like calls with multiple people, but few people.
How many interviews did you get?
I got 2 interviews.
From 200?
Yeah, I got 2 interviews.
Okay.
I got 2 interviews. 6 actual people like contacted me to like move on with the next round. In this 6, 2 people were like phone interview. I did phone interview with them, and both of it were like pretty senior roles to me, like compared to me. So they said they'll get back to me, and they did not. And there was 2 interviews that I got selected selected on the first round, phone interview, and then I did like a 2 hours interview with them, like each. So one I had like whiteboarding and everything. The other one, like I had like a direct interview, and other two were just like a phone call initially to talk to. One was like relocate, which I was not in for, and the other one was they did get in touch with me. I'm still yet to get the phone call. Move forward, and I don't know.
Okay, so 6.
So in the 6th one, I got the offer letter.
So 6 from 200. If someone who's like just planning to come to Canada,
Have some money in your pockets, guys.
wait for
That's very
the question. Wait.
Okay.
What if someone is coming to Canada, like they're just like working there, they're gonna leave their job, and they're gonna like planning to like move here. In like, they won't obviously have any idea like how to get a job and all those things. What will you say?
So yeah, one thing is I will say, see, in case you're coming out like with a work permit, or if you have like if you're moving like PR, Admadri, if you're gonna come, then I would always suggest you saying that yeah, you can leave your job, but at the same time, once you leave your job, I think before coming to Canada, you should probably do a lot of research, at least for 2-3 months, to kind of like know how the market is. Connect with like maximum people on LinkedIn who's there in the same field as you. If you can, drop a message to them. I have like a specific template actually, which I drop a message. If you want, I can paste it down. Yeah. Should I say that?
You just call message.
Yeah, just cold message. Just cold message them, like said that, hey, hi, I am from so and so, so I just would like to like have a discussion with you. I'm trying to apply for the company whichever they work in. I mentioned, would you be free for like a 15 minutes quick call? There's a lot of people who actually responded, and I did have a conversation with them. So yeah, they'll be like, oh yeah, I can refer you, but they will not. But still, at the end of the day, I think their insights did give like a much value than their referrals. So it's always nice to talk to people to kind of like understand the market, because see, again, I can tell you so much things or anything, but at the end of the day, talking to someone, if suppose someone's like a VFX artist, it's better to talk to him rather than to talk to a different person in a different whole different career. So yeah, so connect with as much as people you want, and don't feel shy to just message them and say that, are you free? What can worst happen? They'll not probably reply you. It's okay. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I did talk to a lot of people. I did connect with a lot of people. And one more thing is, normally when you apply for any job here, it kind of at least takes like 2 weeks for them to view and then reply back. It's not like India. It doesn't happen like this. They actually are like a very, very peaceful place where they like do like very, very slow process, which is actually pretty okay. It's fine. Suppose if they're gonna call you in like a phone interview, I'm saying they will also call you after. I still doubt there'll be like 2 or 3 companies who will get back to me after join the company too. So
yeah, the whole process is like
very slow.
Yeah, pretty laid back. So like this whole process like of applying, there should be a curve on this, like where you start on day 1, and then like probably one day you'll be at that peak point where you're like, what the fuck, and then you'll then like understand, you go along with that, and then you start getting progress. So what was that peak point when you felt like, what the fuck, like how after how many days did you feel that?
I think I actually had that like after actually 1 week I had the peak point. I was like, you know what the fuck, nothing is moving on அப்படின்னு. But அந்த week அப்புறமா what my thinking actually, I don't know if this is actually right to say, but what my thinking changed is quantity over quality. All your resumes don't have to be like proper, pakka, write down all this. Cover letter does play a major role again. But at the same time, at some point of time, I think I was like, you know what, I was like full on. I was like, you know what, I see a job, I'm going to apply it. So there was a lot of like quantity over quality kind of like went on and big for me. So yeah, I think that also probably played. But at that point of time, in 2-3 days, sometimes obviously if I see a job and I really like the job posting, I really like the bucks that they're giving, then I'll be like, okay, hi, cover letter line. So if I really don't like really mind, it's like very little bucks, but just put it and send it. So that was my mindset though. But yeah,
after like applying for 3 weeks, like the first time you got like a call or something, how did you feel like at that time? Like obviously you felt happy. Like
I was so happy. I
like-
still. So one thing என்னதுன்னா, when I spoke to a lot of people, they all mentioned saying that எனக்கு கால் பேக்கே வரல, நான் இங்கே 3-4 மாசமா I'm applying, but I'm sorry, like I don't get call back. I've been applying like for more than like 3-4 months and all that. So I was always in that mindset saying that okay, என்ன பண்ண போறோம்னு தெரியல, what's gonna happen, let me just do what I'm gonna do. I was kind of in that mindset. So when I got even like one call, even if that person, actually I think the first call was when the person called me and said saying that, hey, are you ready to move to Edmonton? We really like your profile. So when they said that, I kept the phone. I said, Manish, I got a call. So I was really genuinely very, 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 very happy about it. So it kind of, at the end of the day, I was actually in a place where I didn't want them to give me a job. I just wanted them to see my application and call, or like at least like reply back. So I was in that kind of a mindset, and I was really excited even for like each and every call. So I didn't kind of like feel like bleh about the whole entire thing. There was a company that I applied.
Yeah, I mean, like you should say that, because like that you should expect that too, because that will happen.
So that was the first company that I kind of like had a phone call. I also went on for the next interview. That person again spoke to me, and then I went on like a interview where I had to do whiteboarding, and then I had like a case study to present and everything. So it was like a 2 hours call, okay, which happened. So basically whiteboarding is not something that, to be very, very frank, whiteboarding is like an exercise where like 30 minutes, it's like a test. They give you a problem and then you kind of like solve it in like 30 minutes and like push it back and kind of like explain what is the solution you're giving, why are you giving, and all that. I had like the worst experience. I tried to understand all their products. I went in depth. I tried to know like what all features they had. I kind of like did more depth to kind of like think if they want to ask me a question saying that how to bring a new feature. So I was thinking in that kind of a level. So, but I was always prepared saying that when I do a whiteboarding, it's more like an interactive where the other person talks to me and all that. So when I went, before going to that particular thing, I used to torture him. I used to be like, Manish, come sit, give me a problem, I want to solve. So he used to give me like VFX problem. I'll be like, I need a website where like people can connect, all this VFX and all this stuff. So I used to sit, tell them saying, idan challenge, idan people, what does they need, what does they want, how to solve this, what is the priority, and then like create a whole of a application design and everything. So இதெல்லாம் முடிஞ்சிட்டு next day I had the interview I went. So there's basically 2 people. There's one developer and one normal person, like design person. So I spoke to them. They were like, this is the problem, you have any question, ask before you start and then we'll go ahead. And then I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, obviously like 30 minutes we have to solve this thing itself is like a big deal. If I'm gonna get like not a question now, I was like, okay, you know what, let me just go ahead with it. They all like pin drop silence. The whole 30 minutes I went talking with myself. I was like, okay, this, and then I like finished everything. Post that I had like 1 hour call where I like showcased my case study, I explained them everything. And initially when I spoke to the particular recruiter, I asked them what do they actually expect, like what is exactly the role, like more specific on research or design. So he said, I want a person who's from research, design, everything he said, and I wanted to showcase something relatable to that. So I showcased something that I have done which is related to that as well. So I finished all this thing, I finished the case study and everything, and then I was like talking to them and I said like, so they asked this question, do you have anything to ask to us? I said like, how do you like about my portfolio and everything? I said I'm open to have like a critic, so you can. And then they said, oh yeah, we really liked everything that you did, but we felt you did a lot of research and everything. We're looking for someone who does a lot of designing. I was like blank. I was like, okay, but I did do designing too, but now the project that I showcased was more on that side. And then I messaged the HR person after 2 days, no reply.
No reply till now.
அது முடிஞ்சு Christmas New Year I got a job and everything.
Still no reply.
But still there's no reply. So be open for it. I think the whole point for me was, if it was just a phone call and they didn't get back to me, it's very different. I had spent with them like literally like 2 hours. It should be almost like 3 hours because I spoke to the HR person also like for like 1 hour straight. So the least that you could do is like at least reply back saying that, you know what, we didn't like, you didn't meet the expectations, or the qualification was missing or whatever it is. So be also open for it. Sometimes you don't actually get the reply.
Yeah, you won't get that reply. Yeah, like no matter what industry it is, like you sometimes you won't get reply, like that happens. So
I was talking to Manish. Manish was saying, no, this is all too much. I don't know why they're asking you to do a test and all for 2 hours and all. It's crazy and all that.
Yeah, if they're gonna ask me to do a test, like I won't even apply for
But for me, that's how the industry works, and I'm pretty much open to it. But I also want the other person to be like, come and saying that, okay, it's just a message back.
VFX doesn't work like that. But I mean, if you're a junior artist, then you're going and doing like a test is fine because you're coming out of college. But before you started applying, you did have like a negative impression on this whole thing.
I didn't have a negative impression.
People told me like it'll take 3-4 months. But
I didn't
people
have a
kind of gave you
no.
a negative impression. Whoever you spoke to.
Viewpoints and everything, yeah. But take it with a limit. Like take it with a pinch of salt. Like don't just be like, okay, 100%. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling on my videos.
Even what I'm saying right now, this is how it worked for me. Probably it was timing or whatever and everything. But it also depends on each and every person. So you can't say this is how it works for you, this is how it works for you. So it can again vary. Probably you can get a job in a week. That
and it's like this like overall job applying thing, it never works the same way for like 2 people.
So I have things. So one thing is, if you are trying to apply for a job and if you're not able to get in a job, then second option is you can apply through a recruiting agencies. They're also good, but at the same time they will kind of like take few of your bucks. But again, at the end of the day, you will get a decent amount of pay. I don't think so. It's gonna be pretty bad. It's gonna be good compared to
like throughout this process, like job applying process. Like how supportive was your husband?
No, he's very very supportive. No matter what happens, he'll be like, kedichu. Pappu kedichu. Pappu nalle talent undu. Pappu kedichu. This is what he says always. But he'll be like, no, whoever gives you more bucks.
Whoever give you more bucks, I never say that.
No, he's like, at this point of time, he's like,
I say if it was me, I would have taken it, but then like you decide. Yeah, that's what I say. But did you, when you started, did you think that you'll get it in 3 weeks? When you started applying? You thought that you'll get it in 3 weeks.
I told you which company I'll get itself. What are you saying?
I'm not talking about that. Like, did you think that you'll get it in 3 weeks?
I thought I'll get it in like 4 weeks. Yeah. Overall, tips to be followed. So if you're coming to Canada, do your own research with whatever you're gonna like particular field, whatever it is, VFX or other. Connect with the maximum people as you can. I don't know how VFX industry works, okay, because he has given me a different picture, so I'm going to talk for like design and the have enough research, do a lot of research, how the market works here, the resume and everything, cater it accordingly. And the second thing is connect with as much as people you can in LinkedIn. Try to know which are the top companies that are here, and try to know whichever companies like are hiring and everything. And as soon as you connect with people, try to message them, try to like talk to them in person, try to ask them few questions, try to be in touch with them if you can. Like after the first section, probably like second or third section, like probably like be like, would you mind having a look at my resume? Would you mind having a look at my portfolio? Try to get as much as an insight as you can. I know you might be a big person back in India, but when you're coming here, I think everything changes around you. So it doesn't mean you're a small person, but again, getting adapted to the particular place, it is going to take you time. When you talk to people also know, because I've had a lot of people who have actually even like said certain things in a very, very negative way. Or like, for example, some people have seen a portfolio and been like, you know what, this is not nice. But at some point of time, this is the way you want to represent yourself. I think at some point of time, if your gut says, you know what, do this, then do it. You don't have to like change it for anyone. But always it's nice to kind of like listen to perspective. It might be helpful, mainly when it comes to work and career wise. So yeah, it doesn't mean whatever they say is like 100% is truth, but it's always nice to talk to the people in the industry. So that's what I'm trying to say again.
The only thing is like it will never happen the same way for 2 people. So whatever we are talking right now, like just to give an idea of her experience, that's all. So if I ask like another person, like their story would be like different, and whatever they went through would be like different. So it's never same for like two different people. It's always like different, and your way of finding
get a job in like a day or two. That can
your
also
way
happen.
Of finding job will be like completely different. It'll never be the same. But the reason why we wanted to do this is like, eventually you will get it. Like, not like. There's so many people like they're spreading too much negativity about Canada and all those things right now. I just received a comment like on my previous video, like, don't even come to Canada, try some other country because taxes are too high here. But I don't want to talk about taxes. Taxes are high here, but that's how it is in everywhere in the world. So it's a different topic for a different video. But it's just like, don't listen to people who have never been to Canada and then talking about Canada. Like, that's most of the time they're wrong. I've never had that need to like network with people and all those things because my industry, like, it's not.
I think you already have enough experience here. So your thing is probably if you go to India, probably you need to know how the whole industry works there.
Yeah, I'm not telling not to know about the industry, but know it from people who have been here and who are talking about that. Who has the experience to talk about it instead of
there's like, if you're gonna message like hundreds of people, probably there's only gonna be 10 people who are gonna like reply to you. And see, it doesn't mean just because probably even if you were then like that person who's like who will get receiving a message, probably when you might not reply. So again, it's kind of like 50-50 scenario, but just be open to it. It's okay. You just drop a message. You have nothing to lose.
Also subscribe to channels like this so that you get proper, correct info. So opinions from like too many people. You can listen to their ideas, but like don't follow it. Like don't take everything inside like completely what they say.
Or like I know people who like come to Canada and who have searched job here. At some point of them, they feel back home is better, and I think it's okay if you feel your back home is better. Yeah, it is okay. There is nothing to judge and. That's how you feel, and it's like completely 100% all right. But at the same time, you might never know. Probably when you are leaving back to India or any place, probably the last day you might not have got a job. And probability is always like 50-50, so you cannot say what's gonna happen. So I would say no matter what it is, no matter which background you're coming from, I'm like 100% sure if you're gonna put in everyday effort, you will land a job. And to be very, very frank, this 3 weeks, 24/7, I used to sit in front of the computer and apply for jobs. So I didn't do anything else. I used to only apply. So any job that I used to get like instantly, then instantly I apply. So actually, that also plays a major role. So if you actually have any other question, then probably
message Monisha. I'll put her Instagram.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I don't mind. You can message me or.
You have my Instagram already, but I'll put Monisha's Instagram.
Yeah, in case you wanna like ask something, then for sure you can like comment down below. Even I can respond to you back.
So that's pretty much it for this podcast. I hope this was like at least gave some information about like the whole thing and gave like another perspective from like there's so many perspectives which is available outside there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching and please do subscribe to the channel. I want to hit 100k by this year, please.
Please subscribe.
And tell your friends, share it with your friends. Cool. Like get 100k subscribers.
If you want to put original videos.
Original videos, are stealing videos.
I mean, if you want to put like good videos, then yeah.
Okay, thank you guys.
Subscribe to the channel.
This is Monisha, Manish.
No.
Bye bye.
Monisha.